back, we all were part of the animal kingdom, having same intelligence. But something interesting happened. Was it an accident or nature's way of playing with the human beings? We started developing our brain faster than other animals, and it was hardware, and hardware needed some kind of software, and software was provided by our basic instincts. The basic instincts like taste, odor, smell, they all created the basic software to the mind, brain. And we realize that we have become empowered, we are able to do many more things. Over a period of time, when I talk about over a period of time means maybe thousands of years of learning from surrounding, from neighborhood, from others, that has taken us to the next level of competence, skill, and another thing happened at that time. We developed society, family, and we also learned that if we have to be together, we have to create some kind of system, and that's how kind of education, a kind of learning practices they developed, and that called for a uniform syllabus, uniform similar kind of books, similar kind of exams, and similar schedule. You know what we were doing? We were doing the regimentation. We were doing the indirectly a kind of mind control. We were trying to create a society where people will think in a similar manner, without exception. Whatever instructions are passed down, they follow the same thing. Now, this has created teachers, researchers, and a kind of, it has created the framework for our society to evolve. Now, our reactions, our emotions, our desires, our wishes, they all started falling into the similar slot. We were under the influence of mind programming, mind control. Similar program, I'm sure many of you must have seen the movie where somebody, you call it a divine or somebody extraordinary, was able to program all the human beings. Matrix. The movie was Matrix, volume 1, 2, 3, Trinity. But some people started thinking differently. They were called the leaders, they were thinking out of the box. They were also called innovators, scientists, thought leaders, and these were the people who came up with completely new way of thinking, new science, new technology. I would like to give answer to a presumed hypothetical question. That is, if we have to learn quantum physics and we are largely being taught a classical Newtonian physics, then how much time would it take to switch over? The interesting answer is given by one person. He said it can take around 8 to 10 years. 8 to 10 years to switch over from classical physics to quantum physics. Why? He said, learning is very easy. Classical physics learning is very easy. Classical quantum computing learning is also very easy. But what is going to take time is unlearning the classical Newtonian physics. So 1 year you learn classical physics, then you have to spend 6 to 8 years to unlearn the classical physics, and then you will take another 2 years to learn the quantum physics. So this cycle of 10 years, I think it conveys us a lot. Now, why? Actually, quantum computers, they completely differ from the classical physics, and they really pose a huge intellectual challenge to most of the intelligent people. But the future is quantum physics, and we have to learn. Now, the ascent is becoming difficult and difficult, harder and harder. Alvin Toffler, who is a US writer and futurist, he has told one very interesting thing. He said that in the 21st century, it will not be those who cannot read or write, but it will be very difficult to learn, unlearn and relearn. So he was a futuristic, and he made this statement long back in the book Future Shocks. So what is learning? Let us first understand the concept of learning. What is the learning? Learning is basically the bedrock of our education system. We learn from books, we learn from our friends, we learn from movies, we learn from so many other medias. And what distinguishes adaptable leaders is the willingness to learn newer things. And but learning is mostly formal. We can learn in the conversation, in the experiment. We can also learn while talking to our friends. So this skill, it gives insight of our surroundings, inside of our intellectual teachers, and it prepares us to go and win in the society. Now, what is unlearning? Unlearning is perhaps the most difficult part of our educational life, because we have to unlearn something which we have learned with a lot of difficulty, and we have convinced ourselves, we have created a huge belief system, we have created a kind of acceptable solution, and somebody is asking us to forget all those. Now, unlearning is not about forgetting everything we know. It is about questioning our assumptions and beliefs. We have to ask ourselves, is there a better way? And if there is a better way, then why not we adopt that way? So, employment, when you go for employment, most of the corporates, they find the people who are in the middle management, 35 to 40 years. And they give them pink chits because younger people with more energy, more knowledge, more enthusiasm can do the job in maybe 1/4 or 1/5 of the salary. Now, what is the fault of those who have been given the pink slips? They have refused to unlearn and relearn. So, what is relearning? The relearning is where the transformation truly takes place. And it requires humility. It requires a kind of your acceptance. It also requires curiosity. And when you relearn advanced manufacturing technology, they all have forced people who want to grow in their life to relearn these things. Now, how to relearn? The relearn is it's a very, it's a very, very simple thing. The simple thing in the sense, in the organization, they will always encourage you to do experiment and come up with a result, and maybe result in the form of a higher revenue or a technology growth or any other measurable parameters. Now, I have adopted this cycle, learn, unlearn, relearn, quite unknowingly and maybe in a very amateurish manner. I would like to tell you that what exactly we did. We have designed, developed and productionized the BrahMos system. And this system was initially designed for Indian Navy. And in this, we have created the missile, we have created the launching system, we have worked on the different subsystems of the missile like propulsion system, warhead, command and control systems, guidance systems, their airframe, aerodynamic designs, and created the basic missile. And we worked on this for about 15 years. Once the missile was ready, successfully inducted in the Indian Navy, then Indian Army came on board and said we would like to induct. Now the real problem started there. The cycle of unlearning started. The reason is in the water, in the ocean, in the sea, the target is moving, your ship is also moving, so the whole command and control software has to be rewritten. Now, we have to also think of the platform. On the ground, we have a vehicle on which missile is mounted, and when we were firing the missile by being stationary, whereas in the ocean it was moving. So the whole cyclogram means the activities from point 0 to the point where we hit, they have to be rewritten. The people who are involved, you see, you can't have three groups to design and develop for three different users. So the same set of software engineers, same set of hardware engineers, they work to meet the requirement all the three people, all the three users. So the person who were sitting on the computer to develop the command and control software, mission software, they have to first unlearn. So we have completely withdrawn them from the sea-based BrahMos missile. And we said, you forget, whatever you have learned, you forget. There's a method, I'll tell you in the last. And they started working for the land system. In the land system, your launch is stationary, your target is also stationary. Whereas it was just opposite for the sea-based missile systems. Then what has happened? Air Force said, you please design for us. And in the Air Force, again the cyclogram was different. Cyclogram means the activity from 0 till the last moment, it was different. And we had to create a missile which will be taking off when the aircraft is moving with a supersonic speed. So in the ocean, the speed of the platform was about 40-50 kilometers per hour. On the ground, 0. And in the air, it's a supersonic, more than 800-900 meters per second. 300 meters per second. So the cyclogram is again very different. And the launching system is different. The command is different. The mission function. Software is different. The hardware is also slightly modified and different. Now, the same set of people writing the embedded software, they are writing the application software, they are also thinking how the missile will be performing. Now, the missile has to be launched against two targets, land and sea. In the sea, it is moving, so you need seeker there. But in the land, the target is stationary, so you don't need to move. So all these things were they were being written by the same set of scientists, maybe hundreds in the numbers. You cannot dictate each and every person. So we said, let's depend and count on our ancient knowledge and a slightly adoptive meditation process. We said, let's have a two-bin process. The people who were working for these softwares, the two-bin was, on the left-hand side you keep a bin on which you keep on discarding the old ideas. On your right-hand side you keep a bin from which you have to pick up the idea. So close your eyes. Whatever you know about your older version, just throw it in that. And whatever you want to imagine in the new system, that you pick it up from the bin on your right hand side. So this picking and throwing, that has really helped a lot of scientists, a lot of engineers, and they could come up with the software, with the weapon system, which has performed in the very first instance. Missiles are very expensive weapons. Each can cost more than 20, 30, 40, 50 crore. So when you test, you put that much amount of money. So instead of wasting the money, you should be perfect in the very first instance. So we did that, and that has been proved in the recent conflicts also. Only mantra, what you people have decided is learn, unlearn, and relearn. Thank you.